Listen, bases loaded, bottom of the ninth. I'm all about solutions because some people, they want to do what they want to do. Some people just don't get it. But whenever the resources, the entry level is high, like Miami, Monaco, the women are expected to look like supermodels. Now, you got to understand, Miami is in the South, yes, but Miami is its own world within a world, if that makes sense. I went there for one night. I missed my flight. That was the only time in my life I missed my flight, and I was actually happy that I missed my flight. So shout out to Brickle for the great experience. Let it breathe. But some people, they don't know how to read the room. And this is why I got to make a part 3 on reading the room. If you don't know how to read the room, you will always run into problems, discrimination, and you will think it's racism. No, Miami is made for, rich white men and rich Latinos and rich Haitians. Shout out to Haiti. Sabase Mabule. That's Miami in a nutshell. A lot of people from the Caribbeans. Listen, when you come from the Caribbean, there's only 2 places you're going to go. You're either going to go to Florida in general, or you're going to go to New York City. 9 out of 10, that's Miami. Miami is a real Caribbean-based place. It's not even about race. It's about the base. Who is the base of Miami? I would say it's Cubans. Miami is the first place where you don't have to worry about being bilingual. You have no choice but to know Spanish. I've never been in any place in America where Spanish for me was it had to be a first option. You will not even experience that here in Phoenix once in a while. But Miami, I promise you, shout out to Cuba. First taxi driver, Cuban. Second taxi driver, Cuban. Go to the restaurant, Cubans. At the end of the day, Miami's a little different. But once again, shout out to Haiti. Shout out to everybody from Haiti that, got tired of the bullying and fought back. It happens all over the world. So shout out to Haiti as well. We cannot talk about Miami without talking about Haiti as a whole. Now, with that being said, somebody said Miami's a sundown town. This is what I mean by people don't want to get their resources up. Now, let's not play with this video. Why are we still going to Miami? Florida is racist. No, it's not racist. People just don't have any money. When I stayed in Miami, my room was $450 a night. You feel me? I had a great experience. I was in a penthouse in Brickell with a beautiful view. At the end of the day, if you don't got no money, stay out of Miami. What some women do, I won't say a lot. I was about to, but I had to catch myself. Nobody's perfect, but self-development is worth it. Some women are looking for guys with a lot of money. So Miami, there are a lot of men with a lot of money, but guys with money do not like curvy women. And I'm going to say this again, men with money, unless you like in North Carolina, South Carolina, DC, that's what's up. But you got to understand when it comes to Latinos, most Latinos with money, they're either going with a woman that came straight from Brazil, they're going with a woman that came straight from Colombia. And you got to understand in the Latino culture, black does not represent money. It's not discussed, but at the end of the day, me personally, when I was growing up, me and my friends, we had something called a reality pill. We used to chase women, go to the mall, chase women. But then when we realized there was no woman in sight, somebody was like, oh, time to swallow a reality pill. So at the end of the day, if you want to swallow a reality pill, Miami is for people at top-notch shape. You have to be in shape. Unless you're Haitian, Cuban, Latino, or white, you got to come down there in top-notch shape. If I'm a Haitian, I could go connect with some guys that are Haitian. If I'm Cuban, I don't have to be in top-notch shape because I'm Cuban, I'm Latino, I speak Spanish. So it's like somebody said, no, South Beach, you got to go to the hood. That's the problem with melanated people. They only want to go to the hood where they feel comfy. Booby Trap, Playhouse, Club 24, The Office, even Tootsie's. Okay, somebody also say this needs to go viral. No, if they're out of shape, they're just out of shape. Now, do I like women that are curvy? Yes, but I don't expect to see curvy women at an upscale spot in Miami. I'm sorry. Unless it's a Moneybagg Yo concert, I don't expect to see it because Miami is ran by Latinos. I don't know everything about the Latino culture, but I know some things about the Latino culture. And Latino men that actually get money, they want to see white Latinas or they want to see kind of borderline white. So it's like if you're melanated and you're a woman, you got to pull up G-Wagon Rolls Royce. You don't have a choice. That's just how Miami is. And then when you get your money up, I can't see the club owner turning them down if they had a G-Wagon. If they all pulled up on the G-Wagon, the club owner wouldn't turn them down. But if you're walking around on foot in Miami and you don't look like a supermodel from Brazil, Miami's just not the place to go to. People like to go to places to get rejected. Why would they do that? I would never do that. I'm in top-notch shape. I could live in Miami, not have problems. At the end of the day, Miami, men and women, you have to be the top peak of your fitness. People in life, they don't want to put in any work when it comes to their fitness. So they got energy for everything else, but they don't have energy for their fitness. Listen, if you're really trying to come up, you got to invest in your fitness. I mean, honestly, you're probably thinking, Mr. Keep It Simple, what's the most you'll pay for a gym? I would say anywhere upwards $300. Now, I don't, but I would pay $300 for a gym membership. Because if I pay $300 for a gym membership, what that tells me is that I'm around serious people that take their fitness serious. At the end of the day, who knows? I'll probably do it. The most I ever paid for a gym, without exaggerating, was about $60, $70. That was the most I ever paid for a gym. But other than that, I just want to see my melanated women, my melanated queens, not feel discrimination. I feel like if they go to the gym and they come back 2-3 years later, that same club owner will say, listen, now you can come in the club. But in Miami, the Latino culture, they're not going to accept melanated women that are, tipping the scale. Best way to put it, Latinos do not play that. You got to understand Latinos first. I don't understand why people go to Miami and act like Cubans don't run Miami and, Haitians don't run Miami or Caribbean people in general. And there are a lot of Brazilians in Miami. Shout out to Brazil. So at the end of the day, when it comes to African Americans in Miami, shout out to Rick Ross. He's on Star Island. But if you're not Rick Ross, it's going to be hard unless you're an NBA player or an NFL player or a rapper like The Baby. It's going to be hard to really not get rejected in Miami. Look at this woman. She's like, they even turned her down. But look at her cheeks. At the end of the day, not trying to be funny, but with cheeks with puffy cheeks like that, they're not going to let them in Miami. See, I'm in shape. I got to work on my six-pack. We've been eating good. At the end of the day, in the words of Lil Wayne, met Poppy at the dock. He said, you gaining weight. I said, I'm getting paid. Let it breathe. One of the hardest bars ever. And I'm going to say that again. Lil Wayne said, I met Poppy at the dock. He said, you gaining weight. He said, Poppy, I'm getting paid. You guys have to understand, when you get your money, not going to tell you going to gain weight. You feel me? But to everybody in fitness, convert that weight into muscle. But if she's acting shocked and surprised, they're not going to let this in the club. Absolutely not. I've been to Miami. Everybody, unless you go to I think it's the Black Mockingbird, they'll kind of let anything in, but that's right next to a taco spot. You feel me? But I would say Club Space, they're not going to give you any space to space. And I do believe melanated women, if they work on their fitness, they would not receive discrimination. But some, not all, but some really just, the gym is something, that's not where they're going. You can tell. It shows. It shows where you're at in life. And I'm going to say this again. Life is easy. It shows where you're at in life. And if a woman literally does just want to skip the gym and go to Miami, that's not going to work. It could work in North Carolina. It could work in South Carolina. It could work in DC. It could work in Tennessee, Mississippi. You feel me? Louisiana. But one place it's not going to work. It's not going to work in Miami. I'll tell you that right now. So I feel like as a man, you got to help your woman. And I'm going to say this again. As a man, you got to literally help your woman out. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, we protect women and children. And I do not want any melanated woman to feel that Miami's not for them. Miami's for you if you're in shape. And I know you're probably thinking, but Mr. Keep It Simple, it sounds very judgmental. Oh, well, if you don't want it, don't go there. But if you go to Miami and you're a melanated woman and you got a little six pack and you got a little blazer and you looking good, they not going to turn you down. If you're a melanated woman and you actually look good, whatever, and it's not, just look in shape. If you're actually in shape, melanated women will not have a hard time. And I'm going to say this again. If you're in shape, melanated women will not have a hard time. But everybody's going to have a hard time. If a white woman is out of shape, she's going to get denied. If certain Latinas are out of shape, they're going to get denied. Most men with money do not want curvy women. This is a worldwide thing that nobody talks about. In Asia, if you got a little curves, nobody wants an Asian woman with curves. I'm going to be honest. South Korea, it doesn't matter. That's why Asian women are always fit, because Asian men, And especially if an Asian woman still would date an Asian men do not play with curves. They do not want that. In South Korea, if a woman has a little bit of 2% curves, that is damaged goods. So Asia is all about just the slim, just look close to white. That's what it's all about. So this is a worldwide thing. And Miami, believe it or not, is an international hub. People come from Canada, Sweden, Finland, Denmark, you name it. But with that being said, melanated women could get in clubs in Miami if they're actually in shape. Melanated men, you could go to Miami if you don't look like you're going to start a fist fight, if your card declines, and if you're in shape. Miami is for everybody with money and who is in shape. Does it sound shallow? Yes, but it is what it is. Let it breathe.